Hey,
Hello.
what's up? How you guys all
Um,
doing? Mm-hmm.
I'm great. I need you to talk
Excellent.
to them for a second though, because I was late and my tea is boiling over.
Fine, I will hide you while
Sorry.
you do that.
All right.
So, hey, how you guys all doing? Dina has to prepare the tea, and it's not code or term or anything. It's just she needs to go get her tea. As we are getting ourselves ready, how you guys all doing? We got a lot of good stuff to go over. You guys got a taste of what it was in regards to the highlight notes, but there is a fair amount of stuff, including we're going to get a little bit, also a little bit more in depth into stuff that wasn't covered. Hey, Max, thanks for the like. Um, Particularly in regards to stuff that just happened today. So, oh yeah, here's that one there. Probably get her in the right place. Put her in her place there.
I like the other one better.
Did you? You wanted
Yeah.
to be on the right, or did
No,
you
I
mean
mean like,
this?
yeah.
That.
Yeah.
All right.
Thanks.
Well, we can do that.
My chair's all whatever, but it's because
You
it's
just
cheap.
center yourself now. We
I'll
can
center
see you.
myself. Sit here.
There we go.
All right.
All right. So yeah, how are you doing? You got your
Oh,
tea?
you know, I got my tea. Chai tea.
Excellent.
Thanks,
Chai tea?
Terry.
Excellent.
Yeah.
I do not, as usual.
Mm. You know what?
So, mhm.
Maybe this or this. This or this.
You sound like my optometrist, or every optometrist there is. One,
Is this one
two.
better or is this one better?
Yeah,
Is this one better or is this one better?
you're fine. You can turn on the light or not. It's fine. Both are good. But actually, so let's get into it here. Again, there's a lot of stuff we're going to go into, but even before we get to that, you had a little bit of a field trip today.
Yeah, I was only supposed to go for one, but there was so much going on at the courthouse. I had no idea.
Yeah, so I had nothing in regards prepared for the courthouse, but you can give us a brief.
Well, okay,
For
so
one,
there's the
what's going
live
on?
stream on Facebook, but today
Yes.
Norman had his verdict for his
Yes.
mischief charges, and he has been found guilty of
So,
those.
quick recap for that is I did a bit of research, and
Yeah.
he's got 2 charges,
Yes.
and one is mischief, as you mentioned when we were discussing, and the other one appears to be. Let me see if we can find it here.
Yeah, I didn't actually look at my notes, and I should have.
Yeah. Everyone who not being at a dwelling causes a disturbance. It's some sort. It's a disturbance charge.
Correct. Yes. Yes.
So
yes,
disturbance charge by fighting, screaming, shouting, or swearing. So it was that plus the mischief charge, but the mischief charge is under 5,000. So the entire thing is a summary. It's a summary charge.
And he had 2 breaches of his conditions. One of them, I believe they said that the Crown stayed them. So, like, basically, he wasn't going to go to jail because when you breach, you end up going to jail for those breaches if
Correct.
you're found guilty to have breached. And it starts at 15 days and then it goes up to 30 days for each breach. And so the Crown, I think, stayed that one. And then he had another breach that he was supposed to have I keep saying today. It's really annoying.
You sound like me.
Yeah, like I was listening anyways. Okay. So the other breach, the hearing was supposed to be at the end of September. They decided that they were going to not bother with that, but use it as aggravating factors, those breaches as aggravating factors
Right.
in the sentencing. And they tried to bring up his breaches from 7 years ago. I think he said 7 years ago. So I'm going to take it at face value that these breaches were from 7 years ago. And Norman said that the justice of the peace even said like these are old breaches, that they wouldn't consider them. So he's wondering why the Crown is trying to use them for this sentencing if someone already decided that they weren't worth looking at because they're old charges.
But also, by the sense of they're also not relevant to his current charges. I mean, I understand.
I honestly don't know. I don't know what breaches are for what his past charges, but they would be breaches to whatever he was charged with before. And I don't know what those charges are. So I don't know what argument the Crown is going to make. So anyway, that he can go on August 15th and argue his conditions, which he wants to do. There's 4 of them at the requirement to have a surety, the requirement to live at the surety's residence, the no Ottawa, like he's not allowed to be in the red zone, in his red zone in Ottawa, or the red zone in Ottawa, and he cannot be on social media to try to plan convoy activity, from what I recall. The judge is willing to look at the first 2, the requirement to have a surety and live at the surety's house. However, Norman didn't have an address prepared, so I question that one. Why does he need to have an if you're going to remove the requirement to live at your surety's house, why do you need to know where your other house is? I guess because there's other conditions, maybe, that they have to know what the new address is, but he can always report back to the officer when he has a new address. Like, why would he have an address in mind today if he doesn't even know that he can do that? Like that's I would need the judge's explanation on that, because that seemed weird to me, that part.
The only thing I remember in regards to weirdness when it comes to that is we rewind about a month or 2 back, Dirksen changing his address to 161 Elgin Street.
Right. Oh, yeah. Maybe that's what the judge was. Where are you moving?
Huh. What do you mean, 90 Wellington? No, you Parliament Hill. A, it's no camping. B, you can't be there. No.
Yeah, okay, maybe I don't know.
Yeah.
But anyways, it is extreme, but they have done super extreme things, so it's possible that that's what the judge was thinking.
It's again, it's one of those things. I think it's kind of sort of the judge's knowledge and experience with, and again, if you tell me, like, don't be in this area, give me your address, I'll give you an address. Yeah. I'm not going to be in the area, and that's it. We're coming here from reasonable people kind of standpoint. Sometimes these judges, particularly if they have to deal with convicts, are not dealing with reasonable people. Again, Dirksen trying to live at the courthouse after being told he's not allowed to be at the courthouse, like, at all.
See, but then they go and ruin it for everybody, because you have to. I mean,
I'm sorry. Were you looking at moving to the courthouse?
No, but I mean, in terms of like needing an address right away, would the judge have asked that of anybody else if they wanted to remove the requirement to live somewhere? Probably not. Like, have you ever, like, I don't know. Maybe they do. Maybe they want to know that you're going. I don't know. Maybe they would. I have no idea. What do I know?
Yeah, I feel it's one of those. If again, learning a lot of court terms, especially now, if you're released on your own, they're not really dealing with issues. If they're starting putting conditions in, it's not the first time you've been at the bench. More than likely, there's reasons why they're putting in those conditions. It's kind of like rules on things. Like there's a warning label on a hairdryer saying "Do not use in the shower." It's not there because
caution hot.
Exactly, caution hot. Do not use in the shower.
Yeah,
it's not because it's a good thing to know, because everybody knows that. It's because some people don't.
Yeah,
and something's happened that's caused that warning label to occur. These people are given these rules and conditions because something has occurred and they were told, and now they need to be reminded what to and not to do. Because,
well, okay. Anyway, so Norman will go back for sentencing on October 7th and 8th. The Crown wants 2 days so that they can, the first day will be speaking about the aggravating factors, which are the breaches and whatever else that they're going to bring up, any new evidence or reoccurring, I guess, activity, I would imagine. And the second day will be about the forfeiture, which is his truck, and then apparently a trailer that belongs to somebody else from a discussion that I saw on Twitter.
Yeah, so the forfeiture thing, I saw that too, and I was a little confused as to, was this like being forfeited to the province or anything else? I'm really curious what that is, and if anybody can like either
Oh,
post it
yeah, I
on
wonder if
Twitter.
it's for revenue
Yeah, is this
or just that he
yeah.
can't have it because he used it as a prop for illegal activity. I don't know. I honestly don't know. I guess we'll
No.
have to wait till October 7th and 8th to hear more
Yeah,
about it.
so if anybody's got some information as to why that forfeiture is occurring, by all means, give us a message. Let us know, whether it be on any of the connections that we have. I'm really curious as to what that is. If it's like for any particular reason, if there's any sort of fines or whatnot he needs to pay for it. But yeah, let us know for sure.
Yeah.
But if
And
it's
then
just but if it's just as Baby D saying, it's just returning. Sorry, not Baby D, but vaccines. If it's just to return it back to the owner, I'm like, my first question, and I doubt that, because my first question is, why would that be part of the court proceeding?
yeah, it wouldn't be part of, like, they wouldn't have to argue it. So it seems that they want to
There's
forfeit
some, yeah,
these two things, and maybe he has to pay restitution. Maybe that's part
yeah,
of it. I have no idea.
all quite potential. And
Yes.
yeah, so if anybody's got some good definitive information in regards to it, because again, I don't believe it's just bringing it back to somebody because they borrowed it. Court doesn't
No.
care. That's a you problem, not a
Yeah, because it's all over now. Like, it's finished. They're done.
exactly.
Right?
Exactly. So if there's fines and everything involved, and I can see them trying to get that in there.
Yeah.
So let's get to the stories. And the first one I have for you is about Save Canada, Deana.
Save Canada.
It's done. So this is currently, as of May 15th, on the main website of Save Canada. Save Canada. With best intentions, I started this site, my efforts to bring awareness to issues in Canada. I no longer have the bandwidth to continue with this project. Although I will forever love this country and will continue to work on other projects to save Canada, this website will be dormant for now until a better use case can be found. These domains are available: savecanada.com, savecanada.ca. If you have a great idea for something positive and useful with these domains, let's talk. G. I have no idea who G is.
Greg. Gary.
Gertrude?
Hey, Jinx, you owe me a beer. Listen, it just means that they're maybe moving away from this stupid conspiracy theory and bullshit against the 2S LGBT. It'll always be there, the hatred and the bigotry and them saying these shitty things online and still bullying people, but they're not going to make the effort to do these protests because now they are focusing on immigration. They're getting their marching orders from somebody, right? And it's like the next big thing. And they've started moving on to the immigrants, and they will start talking about abortion again, and it will be coming actually quite quickly. But they've already started talking about the homeless people. I knew it was coming. Like, they've already started coming after the. Yeah, I knew it was coming. They're starting to dehumanize homeless people and acting like it's their fault. So that's the beginning of the conversation. So they're
But here's the great thing is that they need to do that fast, because as it stands, and especially if everything they claim, which is everybody's being made homeless and can't afford a home, your voters are going to be part of that homeless.
Are they, or are they not going to bother voting because they're homeless and this is how the conservatives win? Is it that the people who are left who have money, who don't have to work, who I know your boss is supposed to give you time off so that you can go vote, but some people just it's not just getting time off. If you're poor, you have to pay to get there. You have to wait in line. Time is money. You have kids, you have whatever. Or you're still in survival. So the thing is like the gap between the haves and have-nots gets bigger for many reasons, and one of them is because the have-nots don't have the opportunities that the haves do to go out and vote and make the change that they need for themselves through the political landscape. So that's why organizations that help people go out and vote and help them get their ID and help them get all that stuff is super and have an address is super important. But they also have to take the time to know about who the politicians are. And that's also the problem is voter apathy, because they just think that everybody is out to screw them and no one's going to fix this problem because they've had fucking years and years and years to fix this problem and nobody's fixing the problem.
Yeah, like, that's true.
Never give up, people. You have to vote. Never give up. Vote.
Yeah. The minute you stop voting, the minute they win.
Yeah.
It's absolutely true. But till then, those 2 domains are up for sale. But they're also asking for a positive use, whatever that means. It obviously is going to be open for interpretation.
Somebody equally as bigoted.
Probably. So,
yes.
If anybody wants to go grab those domains, go for it. I'll give you guys
have to pay the low price of $18,000. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know how much.
Yeah, who knows what they're going to be asking for it.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's pretty much. You're just going to destroy your tea, aren't you?
No, I have a glass of water here that I almost knocked over.
Did you?
Yeah, I'm very clumsy today, and late and whatever. Late. I poured milk into my water when I was making my tea before I came to sit down because I used the wrong cup, and so I had to dump my water and refill it. I'm not.
Oh, well.
My head's full.
Fair enough. So, next story has to do with the encampment update. We're not going to go into full detail to all the encampments, but we're going to give you highlights as to what's occurred amongst all the encampments. Because a lot has occurred since we would have discussed a little bit last week. Last week.
Friday.
And we missed it. A little bit we covered on Friday. We would have covered also last Wednesday, but we missed.
Right. We didn't miss it.
My fault. So, here's the status in regards to quite a few encampments to give you guys an idea what's going on. Ottawa U encampment ended. They shut down and they left before any actions could be occurred towards them. Since then, and this is all after, if you remember, Toronto's University encampment was also shut down. They shut down before the deadline so that the police wasn't able to do anything towards them. And with good and understandable concern, they shut it down because they knew Toronto was willing to be aggressive towards students. And so there's no fault there. At the same time, a few others had some updates too. UBC also,
I just want to make a comment about Toronto. Sure. They also proved that they are a peaceful group. They proved that they are peaceful. They walked away to avoid the confrontation that was sure to come. They did a great job at U of T. They've exposed a lot of the corruption that's happening over there. Like they did accomplish something. It's not like they left and nothing was accomplished. They accomplished a hell of a lot, and they'll be back, right?
They did.
So
they did. So Ottawa U, they shut down. They had a wonderful. They had a nice video to show their departure there, and still demanding, and also with a promise that they will return. They were absolutely brave. It'll be interesting to see as they return. UBC simultaneously also shut down. Again, this one was a little bit unclear as to what occurred, and as there was a news article that did come out after that, and all it did say was that the encampment was closed, but it didn't say if they were removed or if the encampment was abandoned. There was it wasn't fully clear there. But it was, I will say, the administration was pretty quick to clear it up when it did occur. So makes me question. Additionally, Vancouver Island issued a no trespass order to their students, and that was, I believe, on the 12th. Oh, thank you, Magic Hand.
Who did that?
Vancouver Island University. Now, they put in a no trespass order, and they had.
Hold on a second. Am I supposed to be seeing this message of a? Oh no, that's me. Never mind. Keep going. Not bad. Don't. Told you I'm slow.
Such a boomer today.
So slow.
So yeah, Vancouver Island University, they did the trespass order.
Yeah.
And they were given till the 15th, I believe, to vacate. The camp did not.
Their own fucking students, those losers.
Yeah. They didn't vacate. They're staying. So the update on this one was recent. Vancouver Island University says it has regrettably launched legal action against pro-Palestinian protesters. It says ignored a trespass notice and a deadline to leave their encampment at the campus in Nanaimo. So Vancouver Island University is now suing the Gaza protesters.
They literally paid to be there. I don't know what the hell. But yeah.
So they're now suing they're suing their own students for being at the encampment.
And faculty. The faculty is there.
It is. So it's kind of
that's fantastic. They've set a good example. Like, God, these people are they fucking teach history. Like, they must know that this is going to not end well for them. They have to know this. Like, they know this. But they're trying so fucking hard. Like, they're literally grasping at the last hairs.
Yeah. There is, well, I mean, you and I don't think we'll ever disagree or argue on this one, which is just, yeah, you can argue this, but if you just ignore the history when the universities are ignoring these kind of actions and messages,
right?
It never ends well.
The students are never on the wrong side of history. Like, they know this, and they know that genocide has to end. Do people really think
genocide only ends in one of two ways, and you don't want to be on the side that ends the wrong way,
right? Like, honestly, do they actually think that this is going to not end the way that humanity requires it to end, which is like no more genocide, and then being completely and utterly horrified at what the world allowed to happen for so long, and then teaching this to our children and it being part of history, and our grandchildren are learning the way we learned about the Holocaust. Like, these people are fucking stupid that they think that this is not going to be like, sorry, these Nazis are going to not be able to genocide people anymore. I don't know.
It is. It's actually, it's kind of weird that they would choose that, but you know what? It is what it is.
It's like they're like literally emptying the tank on this genocide. Like, they're going all out, trying so fucking hard, and yeah.
Well, this gets into a larger sort of discussion as to this, but it's not a this now discussion. That's a Friday discussion that we should have. Thank you, Magic Hand. But as well as an additional, McGill University also dismantled the encampment at their university site. And I'm not going to discuss too much McGill right now, because we're going to get to Montreal a little bit more in a bit. But there's a pretty aggressive showing during the
cops are hardcore there.
Yeah, we're going to get into them a little bit later.
Disgusting.
Yeah, but brings me over to Windsor, because Windsor is the last one, and their encampment
showing leadership
was able to reach an agreement.
Yeah.
So Windsor and the students were able to reach an agreement, which involved divestment. Massive win. And hopefully this is sort of, Windsor is a template
Windsor of all places.
Yeah.
The University of Windsor of all places.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I would have honestly thought it would have been Ottawa or Toronto. Like, honestly, that's how naive and stupid I was.
But I'm okay with it, and
Yeah,
I'm all open to Windsor being the leader to this.
Absolutely.
That Windsor, if Windsor has wisdom to share with other areas, by all means. How are you able to succeed? Let's see if we can use that to help, spread the message.
Yeah, House Father is trying to interfere with Windsor. So is that James idiot guy, whatever his name is. He's the Toronto councillor,
House
or
Father can go fuck
whatever.
himself.
Yeah, not even in his writing. They're all fucking stupid. Try as hard as you want. Windsor's reached their deal. They've made a deal. The deal is done. Yeah.
Yeah.
House Father is disgusting. He's a genocidal piece of shit. He's disgusting.
He is.
Same
He's an extremely radical Zionist.
He's disgusting. Yeah.
Don't disagree. I don't disagree at all. But yeah, he's an extreme Zionist. So, but that said,
Pasternak, James Pasternak, that's his name. The other guy who was trying to pretend he was going to have some sort of influence on Windsor's decision to negotiate with their students to end complicity in a genocide. Imagine fighting against that. Oh my God.
So if the university and the students have already found an agreement, I'm not too sure what these guys are going to be able to bring in to try to reopen something that's been closed. Students are happy with every agreement that they had with the university, so as a university, it's done. These guys are not going to reopen it because they have something
their
with
feet and throwing their little tantrum, and
they will. But continuing on to Montreal, Montreal's clearing of the encampment was the 10th, and as the photo is. And this is on the 11th, the day after. There is a protest and a march in the streets. And this is no different than the protests and marches that, you recall, that I've been to many times, and many other people here have been to in their cities.
The next one's July 20th in Ottawa at 2:00, you guys. Human Rights.
Absolutely. I'll mark it down. May or may not be able to go there, but we'll see. But yeah, this one was during the weekday, and it was just a march in the streets, and it was a little disconcerting, I want to say. And you know what? We're going to watch the video first, and then we'll discuss.
Happen.
Sorry, I'm clicking the wrong buttons. Being a
Okay.
terrible producer here. So, first sort of reaction, I'm like, not surprised with Montreal. Just the response for what it, and it's not to say it's not, I don't believe that's a response that was needed. I'm just not surprised with the response that was given. Again, I've only tasted tear gas in one place, and that was not Ontario.
No,
Sorry, pepper spray.
Not tear gas, yeah.
Yeah. And every time I see stuff from in regards to Quebec, I've got a running joke in regards to some people I know, which is I'm convinced as the Montreal police are paid by the amount of liters of pepper spray they use.
Yeah.
There's a very liberal use of it there.
What was their issue with the protesters? That it was late now, or what? Like, what's the problem?
Not exactly sure. So from the messaging I saw from a lot of people, and there was a particular video, and we didn't quite. I think we saw part of the angle there. The protest was very much standard to what we are used to, which is chanting and walking through the streets to get there.
I could see that.
But a lot of the messaging that there was said is the police came there in riot gear.
Yeah, that's
didn't come in the standard gear. And again, to a protest like this, I'm like,
and all they're doing is marching through the street protesting. Yeah,
marching through the street protests, and again, maybe we're blessed and whatnot, but I see police most of the time going through with us, and there's regular gear. They're clearing traffic, doing what they need to do, and making sure that we're following. We walk forward, we stop occasionally, we do our chants, we keep going. That's fine. They got an idea of the plans, everything's there. This is when the police show up in riot gear, you're like, you're not there just to direct traffic with riot gear.
Yeah, exactly.
And they said quite quickly, like, no, they were getting in there and they were getting to the protesters right as they were just marching.
Yeah.
They weren't doing anything else but marching and chanting. And the police were coming towards them. And you saw them as kind of interfering with them. And again, liberal use of the pepper spray.
Quebec's a racist province, though. Like, so what? Like, they don't like Arabs there.
You think so?
I know so. And they don't like Muslims. So,
before you continue that thought, let me bring up the next thing, because it really ties into the next clip. I also want to bring this because it kind of wraps the whole thing up in regards to Montreal and Quebec. Watch this.
I want to take a second to highlight an appalling situation in Montreal, because it points to a lot of larger issues in Canada. So this story is about a person named Kendra Down. They rent an apartment in this building, and they decided to hang up a Palestinian flag. Just hung it on their balcony. And 2 hours later, they received a text from their landlord demanding that they take the flag down. Like, the landlord's had no issues with a bunch of other flags in the building. There's an Every Child Matters sign in a window. Nobody worries about that. There have been pride flags, Portugal flags, other flags. Nobody worried about those. But a Palestinian flag? That's gotta go. Why? Well, the landlord identified themselves as being Jewish and claims that the flag makes them uncomfortable. A reminder, the existence of Palestine is not anti-Semitic. Standing against genocide, not anti-Semitic. This is just a recognition of the Palestinian people's right to exist, and speaking up for them to be able to continue to exist. But the landlord claimed that Down did not have the right to express their political opinion on the framework of the building. The landlord also claimed that the flag contravened the Heritage Act, since the property is a heritage building. Now, this is pretty clearly protected by the Charter Rights to Freedom of Expression. Like, putting up a flag to support the cause of national liberation of an oppressed people should be protected. And this whole thing is incredibly disingenuous. Like, the landlord is claiming that because the building is a rental property, she does not allow tenants to display any political views or personal beliefs, even though the landlord who lives in the building has an Every Child Matters sign in her window. So it's just very specific political beliefs. Worth noting, flag's still up, and I really hope it stays up. Because it's one thing to have disagreements, to have different beliefs or values or understandings of current events. But as soon as you start trying to leverage the law to silence the political speech of others, that's a huge issue. This isn't just about landlords and tenants, this is freedom of expression. Like, if you are going to jump into my comments very eager that this flag get taken down, would you put F. Trudeau flags in the same category? Do you think landlords and HOAs should be able to force people to take those down? Or is it just flags you don't?
Like.
Yeah. I love that she's keeping it up. I think it's fantastic. And like, imagine paying a lawyer to try to evict somebody because they have a Palestinian flag. I think that'd be hilarious. And I wouldn't put it past the landlord. They'd probably try that, but it won't go anywhere. So yeah, keep that flag up.
By all means. And yes, we love Steve Boots. Go give him a follow. He's fantastic. He's now moved into full-time content creator, so give him a follow if you're not already following.
Steve Boots is the one that I was trying to describe on Friday that I couldn't remember his name. It was him. Just FYI.
Took and Boots. That's all you need to remember. Took and Boots. That would be pretty much explaining him. Yeah. But yeah, it's an excellent point. I mean, he's very good in regards to sort of bringing it up in a way that's kind of straightforward, which is, hey, cool, you don't like the Palestinian flag and you think that should be banned? That's fine. Is your F. Trudeau flag also in that same category? Because it is. It's in the
freedom
same category.
For me and not for thee, right?
Exactly. So if you're big on freedom of expression, you have to permit both. You don't?
Actually, the F. Trudeau, yeah, whatever. I'm not going to go into it. Who cares? Never mind. I won't even go into it.
No, okay. And I mean, we can probably there's probably more nuance we can probably discuss, but I mean, even on the surface, it's like, you want to get political and you want to start banning flags. That means your flag is now at risk too.
That's right.
And I think that's what Steve Boots was trying to go to stay there.
I get it.
But it's I mean, this one is kind of an interesting one, which is, it is my property when I rent it and I pay for the rent. And as long as I'm paying for the rent and everything is
yes and no.
There
in terms of like putting the flag or whatever, but no, I mean, she's renting it. It belongs to somebody else. She can't destroy the place. She can't, even though it's hers, you know what I mean? Like there are certain things.
No, there are things I should be permitted to do and not to do. So if I'm renting it, obviously I can't explicitly put up signage of hate. That's quite clear in the law. I can't put up a Nazi symbol or anything else like that. Apparently, it's still kind of gray, and you could probably put in the upside down Canadian flag and the F. Trudeau flag. But the Palestinian flag, I mean,
well, people put up Mexican flags, especially like soccer time too. You've got all the different types of flags that go up. They have the Ukrainian flag. I'm sure the guy wouldn't give a shit if the Ukrainian flag was hanging in somebody's balcony. Like, whatever.
Let's be honest.
The landlord was specific about why she couldn't have the Palestinian flag too. It was because it makes him feel uncomfortable, and he thinks that just the fact that there is such a thing as a Palestinian flag makes him feel like he's being attacked as a Jewish person. It's like, get a life. You're not. Nobody's attacking Jewish people. You're a Zionist and you're genocidal and you're cuckoo. That's it.
That's all. And you're absolutely right. It's because I mean, let's be honest here. During FIFA time, there are more than who knows how many flags flying of different nationalities, and it's all to represent the team that they're enjoying for FIFA.
Well, Euro Cup is happening right now, so that's why you see cars driving around with different flags at the moment. So
absolutely, Euro Cup, FIFA, you name the event, you're going to see a crap ton of different flags for the different sort of events, as for the different countries that are supporting or cheering for. Nobody is losing their shit over that. Well, except for Chuds, because
Chuds will be chatting.
Yes, well, and that brings me over to, guess what? Chuds.
Chud.
And when I say chuds, I mean not just any chuds.
There's lots of chud activity going on.
But the local type.
Oh, this one. I remember this one. I wanted you to put this up. Thank you very much for putting this up. Let's talk about this.
let's talk about this. So, no video, and I made the executive decision not to do any videos
No
because
problem.
it was a little bit problematic, but it's going to be a lot of still shots, and a lot of discussions in regards to the whole thing. So I'll go over through the whole preamble.
Yep.
As most of us know, Wellington Street regulars, the guys who like to hang around and yell at people from Wellington Street because
And
reasons.
buildings. They like
And buildings, yelling at
Yeah.
buildings, and while hanging around on the street, decide to move their encampment over to
Blues Fest.
where they continue to do much the same, but also fly a Trump 2024 flag and wear MAGA hats, while people of Blues Fest are going in and out of Blues Fest, who are just there to go enjoy Blues Fest. Now, understandable, you want to do your messaging. That's cool. You're going to want to do your messaging in front of Blues Fest. Fine. But you're going to need to understand that people going in and out of Blues Fest may or may not have any interest in it. And understand, also, they know who you are.
Yeah, losers.
Everybody in Ottawa knows who you are. You are the remnants of the convoy. And they all have memories of the convoy, and none of it is the same as what these guys
Maple
think it
Mines,
was.
Christine didn't get assaulted. If there's no footage, it didn't happen. Go ahead.
So there was a claim of that, and
But first, is that the first night she gets assaulted?
the first night, the first night
okay.
she gets allegedly assaulted, because again, there's no footage, and they are not releasing footage of that. So
For the first
that
time
makes me
ever,
question.
they don't have footage.
Well, apparently they have footage, but they can't seem to release it.
Oh, yeah, of course they can't release it because it's not easy to edit. No matter how they try to cut it, it's just not working out for them, and it's not telling the story they want to tell. Oh,
Exactly. So they're not releasing it, but so my issue, aside from, if there was an assault, go to police and go file reports. You've tried it before. It didn't work.
You know why it doesn't work? Because they start it. Okay, keep going.
Fair enough. But my issue now comes into what they decide to do next, which is apparently with the footage that they have, because this is a still from the said footage, and I keep not having the window correctly. They have a still from the footage, and they identify and try to target the people who allegedly did the assault.
It's important to say that those two people are a man and a woman. You can't see it, but it's a man and a woman. Okay, it's important.
We were choosing a block because it's not
block
about,
is good because these random people are being put all over the internet. But we need them.
Yeah.
We need the audience who doesn't know what's going on to know that it's a man and a woman. And it'll matter in a moment.
Yeah. So these two are being targeted, and they're being aggressively targeted to, they're saying that we need to watch out. The police are not, because they came out saying the police aren't doing anything about it. So as the top says, these are the one we want to see tonight. Remember those faces.
Tonight, meaning the next night.
Okay, the next night, they're trying to target and find these people to be aggressive with them because they feel the police hasn't done anything. Right. So there's a little bit of aggression.
So it's important to note that they got in a fight the night before, okay, with strangers. Those two strangers. They got in a fight with strangers. Okay, next. And then the next night, they're trying to go find those two strangers. They're trying to track them down. All right.
And then they go and find other, apparently. Yeah, Chris Stacey's posting about drunken, unhinged woman and her friend, so two women.
Yes.
Who they're now trying to dox and attack because, again, not agreeing with their message. And then the next night, it continues, where it's, another individual who's now yelling and screaming at them because, again, they're flying the American flag. They're in the video. They're screaming about Trump. They're screaming about F. Trudeau. And again, another Ottawa person is like, I don't care. And on top of that, somebody who walks by them had nothing to do with the conversation, just looks like, We're done. And to me, I just look at all this and I'm thinking.
But wait, those two that you blurred out, that they said, the two drunk women, they're women, and Daisy accused them of probably being the ones who assaulted Christine. So now they're just trying to say anybody assaulted Christine. They can't even get their fucking story straight. Chris Daisy puts this on fucking line, saying that these women are calling them aggressive. Well,
neither
you
of those
are
women look like the
aggressive.
women from the first video. So,
And
sorry, the first photo.
These are strangers who are calling you aggressive. And we know how Christine is. Whenever she starts fighting with somebody, then she starts fucking chasing them down because she absolutely has to fucking act like she's somebody. So, so first they accuse a man and a woman of being the ones who assaulted Christine. The police even was looking at video footage. I saw on Danny's live. The police were looking at Christine's phone. They're not seeing what she's seeing clearly, whatever it is they're trying to show. And then the next night they get into a fight with other strangers. And now those strangers are being accused of being
so
the ones to assault Christine. Fucking loser liars these people are, who start shit with everybody. Deana wasn't there, so wasn't Deana. I don't know who these people are. I saw pictures of them. We have nothing to do with each other. They're not Antifa, right? They're just random.
I'm sure they'll claim they're Antifa.
Yeah, right. They're fucking random Blues Fest goers who are sick of these people's shit because they're sitting there filming everything and fighting with people.
Yep.
Like, fuck off. Fuck off. All of it.
Agreed.
It's perfect. It's evidence. Like, Daisy, you're a fucking idiot. This is evidence. This is evidence to prove that these people just fight with everybody and try to blame everybody for shit and lie about these people and what they've done.
I want to take a step back on that, though. I want to take a step back. And so
no credibility.
These guys, I'm not here to give them credibility. No, that's not it. I want to take a step back here because
I'm saying they have no credibility.
Yeah. It has, and my sort of my view on this is one of those. They went to Blues Fest, which is going to have some people coming in from outside of Ottawa and a lot of people from within Ottawa. It's Ottawa's Blues Fest, so you're going to have a huge amount of people in Ottawa. And
it was like Motley Crue and the Tea Party.
Sure.
And what was the second? I think friggin' what's his name?
It's 7 days. Anyway. You're gonna have all such acts.
No, but those two nights were like really good, big nights.
Yeah, absolutely. They're gonna have the biggest.
They're gonna be busy.
Sure. Yeah. But so the first thing I said, which was these people going to the show, they know who you are.
Jelly Roll. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, they know who you are. They've known who you are since 2022, February 2022. Everybody knows who the convoy is. Everybody knows who the leftovers.
Yeah, they don't know them specifically, but they know them as convoy because they've got their stupid fucking idiotic shit.
They don't know. They don't know them as convoy. They know them as leftovers of convoy.
Whatever, they know them as convoy. I don't think they know them as not these. I don't think these random people know who they are. I think they know their convoy because they've got their flags and their fuck Trudeau draped around their back and their
no, but no, it's
five signs.
There's an important. Let me explain why it's important that they're referred to as leftover convoy because that's what people view them as. It's not the convoy. It's the leftover remnants of the convoy. It's the trash that was left behind.
I know they're the trash that's left behind, but I don't know.
Then let me continue explanation.
Yeah.
No, they know this. They know they know who you are in regards to the convoy to these guys. They know who you are. If you think this is a random act, no, they've seen you. They've seen you doing this from Tupac. They've seen you doing this on Wellington Street. They've seen this all the goddamn time. These are people of Ottawa. Half of them are still going downtown because a lot of these people are civil servants having to go downtown. They can't go near Parliament because these asshats are there. They can't go around the city because these asshats are walking around waving the flags. They know exactly who you are. You've been pissing them off, and they're just tired of it. You're seeing the reaction of it. They're tired. They're done with you. They couldn't give a shit about it. They don't want to deal with it. You're like, you don't want to deal with the vaccines, the mandates anymore. You're here screaming about the vaccines and mandates. They're done with it too.
Yeah,
they moved on. You haven't, and you're just pissing them off and just annoying the shit out of them. You're going to get this reaction, and it's not going to get better.
Well,
period.
Good news is that yesterday when I drove by, Steve was out there all by himself downtown at Parliament, holding up his sign, looking at people with his music playing. There was only one person there. We did get footage. I just haven't posted it or anything. I was he didn't see us.
Yeah.
I drove by and Camilla was videoing it. And I sang. I was on the phone with you. That's why.
Yeah, you were.
Yeah.
Dear old Three Stitches.
Yeah. I sang, one is the loneliest number that you'll ever see. It's good shit.
It is. So I got two more things, and we're going to touch a bit on the U.S. And it's not to go into the whole U.S. thing, but we're going to go into it. And when I talk about the U.S., I'm talking about...
it's important because it spills over to here. And
it does spill over to this. So everybody should be aware about this photo and everything else. And we're not going to go into the whole, Trump being shot, whether it's real or not, and whatnot. There's many discussions going on. I think
it's real. I think it was set up. That's what I think. I think it's real. I think somebody was shooting and somebody died, but I don't think Trump gives a shit if other people die or any of the people he's with. So
absolutely excellent, and I don't disagree with it. With what you said so far, I'd be more than willing to discuss a little bit more on Friday. But I bring this up in regards to. Yeah, this occurred, and it's not the incident so much I want to discuss. It's sort of the reaction to it.
So stupid.
So the interesting thing of this, and I think we can, we'll go a bit in regards to the actual evidence that's known and understood as accepted as valid. There was a shooting. It occurred. Ear was injured. And the shooter was identified. He was a Republican, a young Republican.
Registered
young Republican that shot and fired. And he used his father's AR-15. And that occurred. Since then, there's been a lot of rhetoric from the right going, oh, we have to turn the temperature down.
First it's an Arab. It's probably a Muslim. It's probably a Palestinian.
Oh yeah. I did fast forward that.
Yeah, and then once they found out it was a white male who is a gun-loving registered Republican, it was like
it was just so quick. I'm like, oh, there's so much polarization and division, and we need to turn the temperature down. And that's what I think we need to focus our discussion on.
For sure. They're so fucking hilarious.
And I've got some content to go through in regards to this because, again...
Well, before you even go through the content, what was I doing today? I was in court and there were 4 different trials with 5 different accused, and their charges have to do. I don't know about what Brian Dirkson's is. His was recording in court or whatever. Forget him. So 4 of them, there was an element of violence in there, and so what are we talking about? Who did that? That wasn't the left.
Yeah. And you know what? I mean, you've got those, and then when you talk about the, in the States, they're talking about like the left is being violent. But I'm going to be honest here. I don't recall the left bringing a noose to the Capitol.
No, or on their shirts. And actually walking around with one, absolute bonkers. These people, they're so hurt by the fact that the first initial thought that I had, and I'm going to be honest, that was my first, I don't give a shit. Who the fuck is Donald Trump? How many people died at the hands of Donald Trump? Do I give a shit if he lives or dies? I don't give a shit. I'm never going to pull the trigger. I'm never going to be the one to kill him. But if he dies, I'm not going to be upset. And so, yeah, I was like, too bad they missed. Fuck, I don't give a shit. I don't hate him that much that I want to be the one to kill him. And I'm going to say we should kill Donald Trump. I don't say those things like the right says. But when the opportunity comes and it's missed, I'm like, shit. Opportunity was
so
missed.
So far, people are trying to say like the left is saying violent things, but you know what?
No, we didn't.
Hang on. You could say that, but let me bring up the exhibits, shall I? And I'm going to start off with Exhibit A. And Exhibit A starts off with, so this is a familiar person.
Trump was shot. According to our prime minister, it's a failed assassination attempt, and it makes him sickened. Wish somebody would try it on him. That's just me thinking out loud. Sorry. I'm allowed to think out loud.
Sure.
So here's all the faces on. They will pop up, and then you... Here's another one. It's not turned on, but I'm going to smack them. This one here, that's bad. Look at that.
The racist one.
That's how it's done. But when it's plugged in, it's even more fun. And then people always ask, what solutions do we have? What should we do? Literally, if I tell you the solutions right now on this camera, I'll go to jail. Because that's the frickin' country that we live in right now. You can't have freedom of speech. You're not allowed to speak your mind.
Can't utter death threats.
If I tell you the solutions, I'll go to jail. It's a pretty country we live in. Until we come together, we're not going to accomplish nothing. Because they don't listen. They don't listen to small groups. They don't listen to large groups either. But I think it's time to hold them accountable. I think, now here's just me speaking, okay? Here's me thinking out loud.
Remember that?
Loud.
Yeah.
I think we should all band together in every single parliament building and go in and drag them right out of there.
Drag them out.
Right out and bring them on the front lawn and hold them accountable. That's just me thinking out loud, okay?
Is there a rope involved there? Because
that's Gordon Berry's thing.
Kind of loud.
He's going to put me in.
But something needs to be done.
Zip ties.
Look around.
Remember? Yeah. Like I got that on live. I asked if what is he going to use to arrest me? Because they're going to arrest me. No, but yeah. So
yeah, but you were asking Gordon if you're asking him if he's going to use the furry cuffs.
He wanted to arrest me. I want to know what it's going to be like. Can you give me a heads up?
You got to frisk me?
For real, these people again are the ones calling for people to be assassinated. The left is like, oh darn, he missed, not somebody go and shoot this guy, whereas the right is like, somebody go hang this guy, or here's a noose, we're gonna hang this guy, or whatever. What?
Well, so I want to pause you there for video B, as to, because you know what, he's kind of like, you know what, I'm just talking out loud, I'm not saying anything, and I bring you to, again, there's gonna be a lot of videos we've already all seen, but you'll understand as I'm building this story up.
I didn't see all those ones from, I'm late to the party, go ahead. I didn't see all those ones from Ron Clark. So
now me, on a personal level, when this all happens and this shit hits the fan, which is going to hit really hard, really fast right away, like I mean really fast, I want to see a specific amount of people on TV publicly on a rope for the whole world to see. Start off with number 1, King Charles. Number 2, Anthony Fauci. Number 3, Bill Gates. Number 4, Klaus Schwab. Number 5, Mark Zuckerberg. Number 6, Justin Trudeau. Number 7, Joe Biden. Number 8, Premier Scott Moe from Saskatchewan. I even knocked on the door to try to talk to you, and what happened to me, I got thrown in jail for harassment. Alberta Premier Jason Kenney. Ontario Premier Doug Ford, Theresa Tam, Bonnie Henry, Legault from Quebec.
Legault.
And last but not least, the little Nazi herself, Christina Freeland. I want her last so she can sit there and piss herself watching everything else that's going on.
What
and then
the
she's last on the
fuck
fucking
is
road.
wrong with you, dude? I forgot how unhinged this dude
Now,
is.
Yeah.
Every judge,
He sounds
lawyer,
like fucking-
cop, health minister, doctor, nurse, etc. that had hands in this crime against humanity worldwide, you're all either going to be hung or put in jail for the rest of your life, but that's going to be for the public to decide. So, I don't even know how to show this video for the what's in it with the mark and all that. They got me. They're screwing my shit up so bad. Anyway, you guys take the NCI report. Go down to every cop shop Canada-wide immediately. Get this ball rolling and get these criminals charged, hung, done. Drain the swamp. Let's start over from scratch. Build Canada.
Start over from scratch. Okay, let's scratch. Well, yeah, these are the same guys who wanted to take down the police and zipped. And remember, Danny Boucher even said, like, we will tie them up and whatever. Like, all of them said these things, and now they want the left to tone down the rhetoric. We have been saying this forever to them, and then they're like, and in the same breath, this is funny. Gucci's tweet, I should have given this to you, but I tweeted it. He wrote, enough with woke culture. Let's have warrior culture. So he's, while they're saying tone down the rhetoric, he's like, bring out the pitchforks and.
Well, they're looking at Trump and it's like, oh, look, he's being super tough. He survived being shot at. Like, the guy missed.
Mixed messaging. They're going to lose their minds, you know?
It is. It's you shoot at them, they'll scream victim while trying to look tough at the same time. Like, no, you guys pick a lane. You can't be both. I'm sorry.
Pick a lane.
But I still got more evidence to go through because again, these guys are saying like the left is violent and they've been becoming more and more aggressive. And again, I'm going down memory lane here, and I bring you guys this other one.
Guess who was in L'Orange last weekend?
Who?
Fuckface was.
That doesn't surprise me.
I was literally hours away from him. And if I fucking could get off work and go kill the motherfucker, I fucking would. He was fucking hours away.
Give it about 5 seconds and maybe take a note.
Hey, I got some gas money. I got some gas money. I'll give you gas money.
Hey, if someone's willing to pay my hourly wage so I can skip work and go and do that, fuck, I would. I'd do us all a favor.
Did he punch you? Did he put hands on you? Did he put hands on you?
Yes. Trudeau? No.
Yes, he did.
Put hands on my children. That's the difference.
Well, she knows where I'm
children. That's the difference.
Like, I can't do anything unless he put hands on you.
Why can't we be more like the States where like our prime minister's into hunting or something and we could go for like a turkey shoot?
Tone it down, left wing. Tone it down.
Yes, tone it down. Which brings me up to my last one, which is somebody telling us the left to tone it down. You need to pace this one. I'm just telling you this right now, Tina. You need to pace. I don't think you've seen this. If it is who you think it is, then yes, but you understand. I made a super clip. It's Chris Barber, and I made a super clip, so brace for it. All right.
Fix Society needs a reality check. I'll remind everybody that the left wing and the right wing are connected to the same bird. If you think it's okay for somebody to take somebody else's life because of a difference of political ideology, man, you need to check yourself. There's something morally wrong with you. Damn.
Projection. Where's the super clip?
I'm just pausing for dramatic effect.
Okay, good. Yeah, let's see there, Chris Barber.
Because Barber is here like
words
we
are gonna
need to
eat you alive right here.
The right's been so good and hasn't said any of the previous shit we've already shown you. I mean, Barber's.
I did a duet
good.
to one of his stupid videos where I was like,
Barber's never done or said anything violent against a political figure or people or ever. So he would never.
Tone it down, left.
He's definitely the person to say tone it down, right?
Damn, please. Let's see if we can start a fight today. Did anybody else just picture Justin Trudeau as that man again? Or am I the only one? Because it really fucking hit home there. Keep hearing that Trudeau wants our guns.
This is the one.
So does he want them bullets first or that way? Come on, get him. This just in, we should start euthanizing anybody under 12 years old because these people are going to school unvaccinated and transmitting this disease. So the only logical explanation is to kill them, right? And when the war comes, and it will come, figure out what side of history you want to be on.
Yeah. There's more than that, but that was good.
There was
endless supply with Chris Barber. He's such a fucking hypocrite.
There is. So I mean, props to King Schmitty's from TikTok because I use their clip to pull out some of those video clips. Yeah. There is more in that particular super clip, and it's in my feed. You can go take a look. Okay, I'll try to retweet it here. I picked out the ones in regards to violence. There was all sorts of other things in regards to racism and everything. It didn't fit particular narrative here. Yeah. But yeah, basically all the messed up shit you can think of, there's a Barber clip for it. Like, absolutely. He's just a horrible, terrible person. So,
nonstop. Even on Twitter, his comments on Twitter. But yeah, you go on and talk to us about that bird, Chris. Tell us all about that bird we're all part of.
Yeah. It's just this is kind of my view in regards to and my summary to the whole thing, and I want your comment on this one after, Deana, which is these guys have been doing this violent, angry rhetoric in regards to firing it towards the left. Like, you need to go after Justin. You need to do these things after Justin. We just watched the clips of them from like past year to 2 years, increasing in violence, dangerous rhetoric and violence. Absolutely,
and violence. Like, I will be standing 6 feet away from these fucking assholes at minimum, and they're still. Today, they're coming up to me, and I was like 30 feet away from them. Like, they are.
There was more, there was more stuff I didn't get a chance to mark down or as well as to collect. I mean, 4 years ago, 4 years ago, somebody tried to smash into to Trudeau's place, and threaten him with guns. Like, there's a whole thing. This is at Rideau Hall. Sorry, at the Rideau Cottage. They tried to run through the gates with a vehicle, and the RCMP arrested them, saying the same rhetoric. Like, this rhetoric has been constant from the right.
Remember Melinda Stickles showing the gun when she was talking or whatever?
Yes.
Like, and
that one.
What Apollo wanting to come to Ottawa to do this, and then there's also what's his name? The other one. Why am I forgetting his name?
Because there's so many of them.
The one with the Nazi flag wanted to repurpose.
Oh, Adrian Thomas.
Adrian. Thank you.
Yes.
It's just endless. This is all we've been doing for the last 2 years.
Yeah.
Is talking about their violent conversations. What do they want to do to drag queens? What do they want to do to trans folk? What do they want to do to the 2S LGBTQ? Like, this has been nonstop. Everything that they take a hold of, they become violent with it. At the convoy, we watched them. I saw them. They're pushing into friggin' journalists. They're, chasing after people, ripping masks off people's faces. They are freaking violent. Like, this is
they
so
are
crazy.
violent, and they repeat this rhetoric. They keep encouraging and saying this rhetoric, but the minute that this rhetoric has suddenly become a threat to them, we need to
on Republican violence.
Yeah, we need to hold back. Like, how did this get so toxic? Yeah, this is just wrong. This is we need to be more moderate about this whole thing. Like, how are we being like this? Guess what? You did this.
Yes.
This is all you.
Who shot up the person who shot up the mosque, the person who shot up the synagogue, the person who hit Heather Heyer back in Charlottetown when the Proud Boys came out. What were they like? What you thought I was peaceful to you? Like, all of the January 6th. Like,
yeah. And again, very much true. All the instances of people chasing Trudeau, whether it be in Hamilton or any of the other places, that we've had people like on TikTok stalking them, like Tanglefoot, like hiding in the bushes, following Trudeau
at his cottage. Chasing Trudeau in Hamilton. That whole thing that happened in Hamilton was hardcore. Yeah. Like, it was like, are you like? It wasn't just like trying to have a conversation with him. It was like they were trying to get him. It was so disgusting. Like, it was, it's not that I have love for Trudeau, but the fact that they were literally trying to,
I want to, like, again, I disagree with Trudeau. I disagree with
Moose Elliott.
Moose Elliott, absolutely. Terrorized
Moose Elliott with Christopher Freeland. These like,
Oh, I disagree with Trudeau with many things. I would like to have a conversation with Trudeau. I'm not going to yell at him into his face because that's unhinged thing to do. I would be like, I disagree with this, and I would have a conversation.
Yeah.
But you guys have ruined that ability.
For anyone. Yep.
Because you've been manipulated to do that. You don't realize.
I don't know that they've been manipulated to do that. I think this is who they are, and when they get together,
it is who they are, and you're absolutely right. But they've been manipulated to do that because people know who they are and what they can be, what they're capable of being manipulated to be doing, and that's what they've been manipulated to do. It's like, oh look, these are people easy to piss off by just tapping the feelings. Let's do it.
Yeah.
That's it. We'll piss them off. We'll get them upset with Trudeau. We don't want to explain why. You don't need to. Just that he's the problem for everything, and they're good to go.
Yep.
Again, we're not loving Trudeau. We have problems with Trudeau, but we're not going to blame him for everything because we're not that dumb.
Trudeau. Yeah. He's responsible for our participation in a genocide. That is the worst crime ever that I can imagine. And so I can't stand the guy, and I don't care if he wins or loses. The only problem is that if Pierre Trudeau wins, it's going to be even worse.
Not Pierre Trudeau, Pierre Poilievre.
Pierre Poilievre, excuse me. I do that all the time. If Pierre Poilievre is the one who wins, it's going to be even worse.
Yeah.
So, it's really shitty. Like, that he is such a fucking big ass disappointment. I didn't vote for him in the last election, but I didn't hate the guy. Now I fucking nah.
But you're also taking a very sort of. I'm also very, very specific in regards to. I totally support Trudeau in regards to his stance into LGBTQIA.
Yeah.
Very positive, very progressive. He's done a lot of good positive changes for it. Could there be more? Sure. But he's also done a fair amount to do changes. He's very been progressive in quite a few things. In regards to Israel Palestine, no. So I'm very specific in regards to my issues I like and hate. Sorry.
Unlike Pierre Poilievre, who throws Melissa Lantsman under the bus. And she's just taking it because she's a fucking shill simp, whatever the fuck she is, an idiot, money hungry fucking sellout.
At what point, Melissa, at what point are you going to start to think about there's a certain you are very you're a very strong conservative and conservative values, and also very pro LGBTQIA.
Yeah.
2 points. I'm like, I still disagree with you on the financial
Melissa
part.
Lansman.
Yeah, Melissa Lansman.
Yeah, she is part of the community. She's
absolutely
part of the
absolutely. She is part of the community, but since everything has been going on lately, she's has been falling silent.
Yeah, she's pulling up the ladder behind her.
Yeah,
so.
It is very much.
She's comfortable. So. She's good. She's okay for now.
Yeah.
Yeah, we forgot about Goudreau, also, and whatever, burning the pride flag and threatening people online, and Diagolon doing the same thing. And
we have one. We have one more story, which is no, we're not quite done. Goudreau, yes, we didn't have a chance to talk about Goudreau, but we can take a quick minute. We can talk a quick minute for Goudreau because it gives me time to get ready for the next one.
Yeah, well, okay. Goudreau went and burned a pride flag and breached his conditions, his probation or whatever the hell. So he got arrested, and his next court date, I think, is the 23rd. I can't remember right now. It's in my calendar. Hold on.
Sure I think so.
I don't know. There's so many things coming up. It's find out phase right now, and it's all happening at once.
Is it?
Oh, and are you going to bring up Tamara Leach, just newly single?
No, I'm not. I chose not to go too much into Tamara Leach. You can talk about it a little bit because I feel we don't need to go too much into the tabloid.
No, we're not going to go too much into it. I just thought I would laugh about it because she posted about it, and it's like, I was saving Canada. How much of fucking God complex do you actually have where you're like, oh my God, well, I was saving Canada. He was cheating on me. Did you actually type that and was serious about it when you typed that? She honestly thinks she was saving Canada. I don't know what to tell you. And the fact that she put herself as the savior of Canada.
Oh, she's always had a bit of a megalomaniac thing to it. But yeah. So she's going to we've had discussions about it, but obviously she's going to I got the feeling she's going to be a little quiet and a little personal the next little while as she's going to be dealing with that. In the interim right now, we've got a Diagolon tour going on, and I've got a clip to at least start explanations to it. Big thank you to Rachel Gilmore.
Top brass from Canada's far-right extremist group Diagolon could be coming to a town near you. On the heels of an Ontario judge writing, Diagolon is a, quote, militia-like extremist organization consisting of members who are armed and prepared for violence. Everything's fine. Here's what's going on. The group, which loves to wrap some seriously hateful messaging in jokes and meme culture, is setting across the country in what it's calling the Road Rage Terror Tour, where you can pay between $60 and $100 to watch a guy who live streams the same dumb, generally hateful rants for 6 hours every week. Do that in person. Oh, and if you want to pay an extra $20 at the door, you can pay in cash to avoid financial surveillance. Very normal things to consider when buying a ticket for an event. According to Jess Davis, who's an award-winning social scientist with expertise on terrorism and illicit financing, this is a fundraiser and propaganda tour for a group that, she reiterated, is known for promoting extreme hate speech, Holocaust denial, white nationalism, right-wing accelerationism, and neo-Nazism through populist messaging in live streams and podcasts. I mean, these tweets from one of the top members of this organization are literally all from the last 4 days. While it's hard to say how much they're making from each event, Davis estimates it's likely in the $1,000 to $3,000 range. That's minus expenses, but plus merch sales. I obtained a copy of the email they sent out to their Ottawa attendees, and beyond the shockingly self-aware decision to call their organization the Grift Corp, these guys also had to tell their attendees, do not bring weapons of any kind, that they could be made to walk through a metal detector, and they threatened to pursue civil litigation against anyone who records what they say, which is like a red flag wrapped around a flashing warning light with an alarm going off. They're also not releasing the names of the venues ahead of time so they can avoid their events being canceled. Although local activists, who seem to have a way better track record of stopping hate speech than police, who seem pretty MIA from all of this, have so far figured out each venue location pretty much as soon as it's released. And while that didn't get the event canceled in Ottawa, it did force the Sudbury one to relocate. So yeah. If you see a bunch of dudes in your neighborhood claiming to be racially superior while looking like hard-boiled eggs with sunglasses on, there might be a soon-to-be shut-down gathering of grifters attempting to take place near you. What do you think of all this?
I fucking love that line from her.
I know, me too. It's funny. I laughed and laughed and laughed. We were on the phone when I read it.
We were.
Couldn't stop laughing at that. Yeah.
Hard-boiled egg and sunglasses kills me every time.
Because it's true. That's why.
It's true. It absolutely is. I mean, so some of the shots that you saw in Rachel's video here is actually provided by Deana and I in regards to here's the venue, as we were able to Deana was going through quietly, because that's what Deana does.
I was quiet until they called me. They called me. I stopped the car. I was actually looking at the...
You drove right in front of them going, hi! That's not quiet, Deana.
Did I say hi? Did I send you the footage? Did I say hi?
You did. You Leroy Jenkins the shit out of it. Considering there's Alex Red right there in front of you.
Well, he was trying to trespass me, and he didn't. Contrary to what the journalist reported on her stupid platform, I was not promptly trespassed. As you can see, I had multiple conversations with bigots.
That's true. You were there for about 20 minutes. You did meet quite a few of them. This is so aside from Ren, who is trying to do something here. Which we have a clip about that later. This is Aaron Aldrich, who is famous for just dancing shirtless in Ottawa during the convoy. Because, we know this one.
Listen, Vicky.
Yeah,
I love that screenshot.
Yeah, she looked real happy. I'm not sure if she was praying for you again.
She told me she prayed for me while I was in jail. And I'm like, oh, that's great. A lot of people were praying for me. And then she's like, yeah.
But you're out. I was praying for you, but somehow you still got out.
I was praying for you to stay in jail. I was praying that you would stay in jail.
More than likely. Yeah. And the daughter.
Daxton,
Absolutely. And of course, Daisy needs to sneak up and see if he can get some shots of you.
Yeah.
Because he always needs to go up and take some shots of you. But you know what? We also got the clip of you while there. This is the clip that you posted up there. And I put it together. And this
private event?
Yeah.
Please leave right now or we'll have you trespass.
All right, go do it. Work it. Look at Alex being a big toughie.
He's so serious.
Deana, I don't have to be tough with you.
Deana? Who's Deana?
Whatever your fucking name is, Deana.
Tough guy.
Oh, what were you going to do, Alex? You look pretty angry right there. Yeah?
How's your stint?
What's my stint?
It's how you like to spend your life, just following around people you hate.
Isn't that what you do?
Cool, pretty sad.
Is this what you like to
I'll
do?
end up in jail again.
Will I? Are you going to put me in jail, Alex? You going to do it?
You know what? One day, yeah. One day I hope to.
Yeah?
One day, I hope all you commies end up in fucking kids.
Commies, eh? I'm a commie.
Yeah.
No. It's okay. Everybody has my license plate.
Yeah, I just want to make sure that you're not violating your conditions or anything.
Oh, I'm totally not.
Okay.
You hate me, Alex? Do you hate me? Do you fucking hate me? You fucking hate me, Ferryman?
I do hate what you people have done to this country.
Yeah. What have we done to this country? Are you protecting me?
What are you here for?
I was just here to make sure I see who was coming and shit. Make sure it was here. Is that okay? Alex is very upset. Somebody should calm him down. Alex, you dropped something.
I'll tell her.
Yeah.
Give it back,
Give it back, Alex. Give it back to Alex. Alex.
Dead.
Oh, your best friend.
Who's my best friend?
Alex. It's not your best friend.
Alex, we found it.
Did you zoom in on it? That's for Alex when he dropped it.
No, he just stuck the middle finger at you.
Oh, Alex, that's rude. There's children here.
You just rolled your eyes.
Oh, he's mad. Alex is so mad. He's so mad. Alex, I'm leaving. Bye, Alex. Bye, Alex.
That ending still kills me. It's being so polite to let Alex know I'm leaving, and the cackle. It's just fucking kills me.
It's funny how they all want to put me in jail.
They
Like,
do.
Gordon
I think it's what
Barry wants to arrest me. Alex wants to. Like, anyway,
they'll put you in a cage.
it's a fantasy.
It's just some sort of-
I'm beginning to think they don't like me.
I
Today
know.
was
I
called
know.
So many names. They just kept
Starting to
calling
feel
me names.
personal.
Like,
Starting
what
to
the
feel
hell?
personal. you
Right.
know?
Like, come on, guys. I'm just, checking this shit out, getting footage,
Being polite,
documenting.
talking to people, like
Yeah.
letting Alex know what's going on.
I wasn't going to stop my vehicle and talk to them. I was driving and I was making sure that I got a good shot of their Winnebago, whatever it is, the RV.
Yeah, it's true.
And then
Very
Morgan
nice rental.
started walking to. I'm like, oh, there's Morgan. Like the minute I got there, fucking Jeremy McKenzie scattered right inside the building. Gone.
True.
Gone. Yeah.
Which is
Morgan
weird,
wouldn't
'cause
even look at my camera. She just like went right to beelined it to the RV and went inside. And then Alex distracted me, which I think was the point. I think he was trying to distract me because he was protecting Morgan, I think, from me and my camera.
So you're scary to Morgan and Jeremy?
I feel like I am. I feel like
All
I
right.
am. I think I
Weird.
am. I think they're scared of me.
Weird. Very odd.
Alex is a tough guy.
He is. But we've got one other clip beyond this, by the way.
Oh.
So this one came out tonight, and it came out from Rachel
Tonight?
Gilmore.
Oh, yes, I saw
Yeah.
this. It's good.
Yes, this came out from Rachel Gilmore. And so let's take a look and discuss this one.
Dun, dun, dun.
Oh, and I already have this one ready.
Breaking news.
Got my hands on leaked audio from the far-right extremist group Diagolon's event held in the outskirts of Ottawa. And some of the stuff they're telling their supporters on the self-described terror tour is pretty interesting. And I'm not just talking about the fact that they charged $60 per ticket and people had to listen to a super cringe poetry reading.
Children's life is marked by torment, sorrow, and strife.
Here's what I heard in the audio, which was shared with me by an attendee who gave me permission to use it. First off, the event was held at the Carp Agricultural Hall on July 6th, and the audio is a little bit muffled. One of the more uncomfortable moments was when they had the entire crowd chant, "They have to go back."
They have to go back. 1, 2, 3.
Which is a phrase Diagolon often uses in the context of anti-immigrant posts. And between jokes about baking 6 million cookies, which was met with raucous laughter and sure seemed like it could have been dog whistling something really awful.
Probably bake 6 million cookies up here right now.
And very racist accents. They also said some really serious stuff. Like when Alex Friend, aka the Ferryman's Toll, who has been associating with white nationalist groups and has platformed neo-Nazis on his podcast, told his audience he is, quote, tired of being against the government and against transgenderism and against immigration. Instead, he says, people want to be pro something. Take a listen.
I think a lot of people feel that need. They want to be pro something. They want to take pride in their culture. They want to be proud of their history. They want to be proud of their people.
He then went on to add this.
They demonize and turn it into a dirty word. The N-word for white people, pretty much, is nationalism and nationalists.
So if you're talking about that in the context of white people, as you said, do you mean white nationalism and white nationalists?
Until we start being pro our people, pro our culture, and pro our country, none of this is going to change.
These guys often claim to just be memeing and joking around, but I'll leave it up to you to decide how serious that clip was and what message these guys are bringing to their crowds across the country. That is when they aren't too busy talking about me.
Rachel's outside. Did we see her? She okay? Did we see Rachel?
Now that's what I call fan behavior. What do you think of all this?
Yeah, that's pretty fucking psycho. And okay, let's talk about them first. You talk about whatever of this video, and I want to segue it to it sort of leaking into the Wellington regulars. Go ahead.
You're absolutely right. So this particular, let's start off with everything about this video continues to keep repeating the same message that they and others, you know who others are, keep trying to attest that this is just a meme. This is just a joke. This is not to be taken seriously. But the problem is that we keep hearing messaging like this repeatedly over and over again, which is they're talking about white nationalism.
Yeah, this wasn't a comedy show. This was like them having these conversations, and
yeah, they're talking about white nationalism. They're talking about anti-immigration, and they're talking about other topics.
They're talking about genocide as if it's a fucking joke. Like, it's disgusting.
6 million cookies is a direct thing in regards to anti-Jewish, anti-Semitic
100.
speech.
Yep.
That is not even a joke. 6 million cookies is an anti-Semitic thing. Period. It has to do with Germany, Nazi, and I'm not saying that as to just say that. That's exactly what it's referring to. Their jokes are horrific. Their meme is referring to them. It's there's nothing funny about this, and it should be taken seriously for what it is. It is trying to normalize hate speech and trying to do it in a way that's what they say is comedic, but it's just a way to normalize this. They're very much anti-immigration, very xenophobic. We've seen Vren's videos. If you haven't seen it, you can see it also being, and as well as commentaries from Mackenzie, being very anti-Indian right now. But we're also seeing this leak into other groups right now, especially as it's coming up to July 27th. There's going to be a Take Back Canada, anti-immigration, anti-mass immigration. This is all tying together. They've helped normalize this, and now we're going to be seeing more of these marches in the coming months. Mark my words.
Well, I just wanted to, so I didn't know what the Betsy Ross flag was until somebody pointed it out to me. And you see, first of all, we remember when the convoy started and they said that they were not white nationalists. They told us they were not Nazis. They were not racist. They were not homophobic. They were not anti-immigration. They were not anti-Muslim. Everybody was welcome. All of these things. And we've seen them progressively go through all of them to say all of the things that they're not, to show that they actually are. And I remember those who fought the most, the Wellington regulars were at Tupac. They totally kept saying all that shit, saying that, they're none of those things. And then we saw clearly that over the last couple of years, they are those things. And here we are now, and you actually have Daisy and them. They've put down the Fuck Trudeau flag. They've put down the signs that have to do with the trans agenda and the weapon stuff. And now they've moved full-throated into the racist rhetoric, and they're holding up the Betsy Ross flag. And the Betsy Ross flag is a racist flag.
It is now, yeah.
Yeah, and so here they are standing at Blues Fest or wherever they were, holding up these flags. They can't keep telling us that they're not these things. You don't get to say that anymore. it if you are that. Like, you're embracing it in secret. We know who you are. I mean, don't embrace it, but you know what I mean. Like, just
sorry. Don't embrace it.
Us.
Yeah, don't embrace it, but at least admit it.
Admit it. Yeah, stop gaslighting us, or trying to, because we're not
being
fooled by it. We weren't fooled by it 2 years ago. Since January 2022, we weren't fooled by it any time since. And all you've done is prove us right.
For me, it was when Daisy was in Toronto at the drag story time, where he first met with the Toronto White Lives Matter guys. And when they introduced openly who they were, he did not denounce them. He did not say anything. He's just like, oh, okay. Well, it's hard to tell who the good guys and bad guys are here. And kept talking to them. Yeah. So at that point, you just admitted you're comfortable talking to white supremacists because they're the good guys, is what you're saying? Because you didn't denounce them. You didn't tell them to go away. You didn't disagree with them. You stood with them as you guys were protesting the drag story time. Sorry, I think Deana's a little pause there. Oh, do we have you now?
Sorry, I said I can't stay on. We're gonna have to end this. My dog isn't doing very well. I'm gonna have to figure this out.
No problem. Well, we're right at the end right now, so we're gonna wrap it up here. So before we go, don't forget to join us every Friday. So this Friday, as we'll be doing our Twitter and TikTok Spaces. You can join us on either platform, and we bring them across. And this is where you guys bring up the topics and discussion, and we can go into more in depth in regards to some of the stories we did tonight, or anything else you guys want to bring up. Don't forget to join back with us next Wednesday. But between now and then, we're still fundraising for Deana. Please jump up and join us. Jump in our link tree. Hopefully, Deana has the link in her link tree to go for donation, so that you guys can go donate. Because again, we're still trying to raise funds for her, and we need about 25,000, and that number is actually not fully allocated to that. So the more we can get in there, the better. So please help.
Yeah, PayPal or whatever funding thing they do takes a chunk out of it, sadly, but it is what it is.
Absolutely. We'll keep looking to try and find better ways to deal with that. But till then, thanks for coming out. Until then, we'll see you on Friday. Till then,
don't forget Saturday at 2:00 at the Human Rights Monument, Free Palestine. Everybody needs to show up. People are showing up with their dogs. You can take your dog for a walk during this thing. You can bring your family. Everybody up. It's time. Thanks.
Good night, guys.
Good night.
Private event.
Yeah.
Please leave right now, or we'll have you trespassed.
All right, go do it.
Work it.
Look at Alex being a big toughie.
Deana, I don't have to be tough with you.
Deana? Who's Deana?
Whatever your fucking name is, Deana.
Tough guy.